Hello YouTube, thank you for tuning into my channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about the magical properties of titanium, which is for some reason, at least at the point of this video, information on the magical uses of this metal seem to be very scarce. I have looked in many books and not seen it. It's not even in Scott Cunningham's book, The Encyclopedia of Minerals, okay? It's just not in there. And if yours has it in there, it is because your book is newer than my book, and somebody added it to the book, not Scott Cunningham, which I'm okay with people adding to people's works like this because it keeps the book revised and in print. All right, but again, it's not in my copy. So, and when you go online, you'll go to Witch Communities and you will see different opinions. Now, their opinions are just as valid as mine. I am not trying to argue or refute people. However, when you listen to my epistemology, the metal itself was found in the 1700s, 1790, 1780, something like that. I'm sorry, I pull from memory. But I'm giving you enough to where you could always fact check everybody. Okay. But anyways, it was named after the primordial gods of ancient Greeks, the Titans. Okay. Before Zeus, before all of them, you had the Titans. And I guess it was named after the Titans because this metal is so interesting. It is lighter than steel, but per weight and how strong it is, it's almost as strong as steel, but less the weight. And I'm going to give you I have to go get it after I do some editing. I'm going to come back and finish the video. I'll show you what it looks like. However, what's it used for mostly? Well, it wasn't released for mainstream public use until like the 1980s or 50s or something like that, but last century. So it became widely used. It's even used in people's wedding bands, okay? This metal is everywhere, but yet no information seems to be found readily available. Its primary use, the government has used it for missiles. It's lightweight, so the government has used it in satellites, the space station and space shuttle. I think the rockets too. It is widely used in airplanes because, again, first of all, it's a metal that works well with other metals. It easily makes alloys and makes these metal mixtures stronger because of its presence. So again, yeah, airplanes and satellites are made of steel, but they have titanium mixed into it, which makes makes it strong but less weight compared to using pure steel, for example. So right out the bat, it's lightweight and it's used in flying machines. So I'm going to associate this with the element of air, but not this alone. It's more interesting component that a lot of people don't know about, especially when it's mixed with other metals such as nickel. It has a memory. What do I mean by this? When you let's say you take titanium and you bend it in a certain position and you leave it there for a long period of time, or fix it by adding heat, right? Now let's say it's shaped like an L, or it's bent wire now after you bend it. When you add an electric current to it, or even water to cool it down, it remembers its prior shape. That's right. That's pretty interesting. So it holds memory, and you can actually bend it again and then redo it over and over, and it'll go back to the same shape it was before you bent it because it remembers after it's been fixed. That's another reason why I'm going to associate this with the element air. And of course, I'm going to give another one. I'm going to associate it with the planet Mercury because titanium is put in cars, airplanes, and so forth. So it has to. It's definitely used for travel, and Again, it has a memory, and mercury is about travel, and it's associated with the element of air, so it's about memory too in communication. So that is my epistemology. Now I'm going to show you a quick video. Now I did not do these videos. I did not take these videos. I'm going to edit them down just briefly so you can see this memory process in action. Okay. Wow, will you look at that? Isn't that cool? Okay, now I split my correspondences into two groups. And what I mean by this is I mean primary and secondary. Um, most correspondences just give you, well, a list. I mean, okay, this element or herb is, or uh, what have you is associated with planet, what it's used for in magic, right? What it's used for in magic, I tend to consider primary and secondary. Primary is what most people would use it for. Secondary would be like the substitution category. For example, pyrite is not gold. It's called fool's gold because it fools people who are not familiar with gold in its raw form before it's pulled out of the rock that it might be mixed with. Obviously, you want to use gold in a ritual that calls for its element and its correspondences. But if you do not have gold, fool's gold is a good substitute, even though it's not real gold. Okay, so titanium is titanium. However, because of the silver color, it could be probably, and not to mention because mercury is also associated with the metal mercury, and they both have a silver color in its natural set. I am willing to also make the claim, because it's worked for me, that titanium can in fact be used to substitute things. Now, what's very popular right now is adding titanium, a thin coat of titanium, to other stones. And this is why I'm doing this video, because I got two stones here which are covered with titanium, and they're quartz. They're titanium quartz. They seem to be very popular, mostly because they just look pretty, but and new agey. But if you're wondering what you could use these stones for, you now have some working background on what titanium is and what it's primarily used for, and what it most likely would be associated with, in my opinion. Titanium is like cinnamon, all right, or quartz, all purpose. So when you mix them together, you have all purpose elemental stone. Isn't that pretty? A quartz stone with a thin layer of titanium. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got deep purple on certain locations and green in another, depending on, I don't know if this camera will pick up what my eyes see. But in any case, quartz is an all-purpose stone. It amplifies, first of all, just for its amplification properties, you just need to have it in every ritual, in my opinion, that you're going to use an element. And then, of course, it's supercharged with a metal, which conducts electricity moderately. It's not like copper is like one of the most cheapest metals that have the best electrical properties besides gold. Gold has the best, but it's too expensive. That's why most houses will have copper wire. If the very first wires used, like 100 years ago, were metal, laced with metal. I'm sorry, gold, laced with gold. And of course, people would break in the houses and dewire the houses when they became abandoned because of the gold. But anyway, so this conducts electricity, but not as good as copper. And again, and it has memory and the whole 9 yards. So use it what you like. So use the titanium and then the quartz which amplifies it, and it's a beautiful thing. And I believe, like I said, it has a lot of secondary properties. Titanium is used in cavities to fill cavities, for example. Protecting your nerves. The military uses it in their missiles because it's lightweight. Protection or offensive, all-purpose. I think but titanium is an all-purpose metal that you can use. But its primary function would probably be anything associated with air. Okay, thank you for watching, and go pick you up a titanium quartz because they're cool. All right, take care.